Hi RICC to RICC Network, this is Holly, the DAC RICC trainer here. I know it probably feels a little weird that you can hear me but not see me right now, but there's a good reason for that, and that is that we've been having a little issue with people choosing no mail as their mailing list preference, meaning they don't want to get an email or a text message or anything like that when somebody posts in the feed. They want to be able to log on to the feed and just see it for themselves, but for whatever reason, they're still getting emails or text messages anyway. And that can be really annoying or bothersome to people, especially if there are people who post later at night, for example, when people don't want text messages or emails, or when people are just posting things that really are more just to chat with people and not quite as important, but they're still getting emails for them anyway. So this is a video that just lets you know how to make sure that every time you post in the feed, you are choosing no notification for your post, and that way nobody is going to know that you have posted in the feed until they log onto Wigio and see it for themselves. So in that way, Wigio is going to work a little more like a discussion board, where you're not going to know the conversations that have taken place until you see them, and hopefully that's going to be a little less irritating to people, which is good because we want people using Wigio as much as they can. So basically, to make sure that you're choosing the right thing, you're going to go start a conversation like you normally would. So click in your little box here to start a conversation. And let's say I just want to say hi to everybody in the RICC to RICC network. So I'm going to type my little thing in here. Hi, RICC to RICC network. How's it going? And so if I scroll down a little bit, you can see that the participants, which participants are all the people who are going to see that you have posted this in their Wigio feed when they log on, and they're going to have the ability to reply to it, respond to it, and that kind of thing. So you can see that my participants are the entire RICC to RICC network. If I wanted to make it so that only certain members of the RICC to RICC network could see, I could go ahead and click the little X button by their names, and that deletes them until I only have the people that I want to be able to see it left on there. And that's a good way too to make sure that nobody is getting notifications for things that don't apply to them if you make sure that you only have people as participants that you want involved in the conversation. If we move a little further down, you can see you have the word notification, and then you've got three options. The first is to send based on their mailing list preference. And mailing list preference is, let me scroll up a little bit for you, this thing up here, where you decide if you want an email, a text message, a daily summary, or no mail. So basically, to send based on mailing list preference is going to mean that they're going to get whatever they specified up there. If they chose an email, Wigio would send them an email. If they chose a text message, Wigio would send them a text message. And if they chose no mail, Wigio would send them no mail. The next option is to force regardless of their mailing list preference. And you really don't want to use this one unless it's super, super important. Because basically what that means is they're going to get a notification whether they want one or not. And that's going to be kind of obnoxious to people. So unless it's really life or death, I don't know what could be life or death on Wigio, but something, maybe. Try not to use this one if at all possible. And then the last one is going to be the one we really want to focus on, which is do not send any notification. That's what we're looking for. Basically, that's going to mean that they're not going to know that you posted anything until they log on to Wigio themselves and see it. And that's what we want to do, just so that people don't get overwhelmed or annoyed by the number of notifications they're getting. It's also a good way to sort of accommodate people's disabilities, because if they have a difficult time reading or processing a lot of information, you don't want to send them a whole lot of things. So we'll go ahead and click that. And then when we're all set there, you would just click post. I won't do that now because this is just an example. But that way you can make sure that nobody is getting notification of things that are going in the feed, and they can just log in and read things when it works for them. And that's really what we want to go with, because we want to make sure that Wigio people feel good about it and not overwhelmed by it. So I just suggest that for now that's the way we go when we post things. And hopefully that's going to make better conversation and more involvement for everyone involved. So that's what I have for you today. If you have questions or issues with anything in this video or anything else related to the RICC network, go ahead and give me a call, send me an email, or you can fill out the I need help from a RICC trainer form in the RICC network folder. I would be happy to help you with anything you need, and I know that RICC trainers would as well. So hopefully this video went well for you and helps you out. Feel free to leave me some feedback so I can know how it went for you. And thanks for being a part of the RICC network. I'm really having fun working with all of you guys. So hopefully I'll talk to you guys soon. Until then.